From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, pretty pleasant weather the last few days, but we do have the next storm system that will be coming in tonight and into tomorrow. I'm expecting snow levels to drop, gusty winds for Wednesday in particular, but even into parts of Thursday as well, especially the first half of the day on Thursday. But we're also going to be looking at the flooding concerns out there as well. We're going to get into all that detail here in a second. Let's take a look at our planner for tonight and into tomorrow. So I'm expecting tonight the North Coast, inland, Trinity County, all to see the chances for showers coming in tonight and into tomorrow morning and getting very heavy at times, especially in the morning hours tomorrow. Take a look at the valley. There may be a few sprinkles or light showers late tonight, but the bulk of the rain for the valley will be tomorrow as we go through the morning hours and even into the afternoon as well. For Siskiyou, Modoc County, probably sometime late morning hours and then midday. So for example, western Siskiyou County in the morning, mid-central Siskiyou County, probably somewhere around late morning, midday, and then eastern Siskiyou County into Modoc, probably sometime in the afternoon, and the eastern mountains looking at most of it in the afternoon as well. So, we've been talking about atmospheric rivers. You've been probably hearing about it, reading about it on social media all over the place, but what a lot of people don't realize is that there are 5 different categories of atmospheric rivers. And you can see AR, atmospheric river 1, all the way to at category 5. The atmospheric river we're expecting to see here as we go into tomorrow will be categorized as an atmospheric river 2. Now that's defined as a balance of beneficial rain and hazardous rain. And that certainly is what we're expecting here with this atmospheric river, because we're talking about the potential for flooding, but also gusty winds could create some power outages. And of course, snow is expected to drop into some of those lower elevations as well. So let's start off with Futurecast, walk you through the timing of it. Now here's the main atmospheric river that we're seeing right here. In advance of it tonight, we are seeing some showers developing. But what you'll notice here is that the bulk of the rain is west of I-5. Now, as we go through the overnight and into tomorrow morning, we're really not going to see that progress much to the east. So yes, tonight, showers possibly in the valley into tomorrow morning, but you can see here the bulk of the rain, the heaviest rainfall is beginning to fall late tonight, early tomorrow morning along the coast. Then that pushes eastward. So by late morning, midday, we're seeing the heavier rainfall making its way into the valley. Now keep in mind, we're also looking at very gusty winds in the area of yellow, oranges, and reds. And snow levels still fairly higher at this point. They're going to start off around 6,000 feet. At noon, still 6,000 feet and higher. You can see we're just not seeing a lot of snow depicted on the map here, indicating those higher snow levels. As we go through the afternoon, now we're starting to see the eastern mountains get caught up in some of this. We're seeing the heavy rainfall still in the valley, but we're on the back edge of that heavier rainfall for the coast. So things starting to dry out for a short period of time. But snow levels still fairly high, although they're starting to drop. I'd say somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 feet. Mount Shasta City, rain. But places like Chester, possibly some snow there, not to mention Susanville, maybe even the Viola area could see some of that as well. Now we go into Wednesday night at about 11 p.m. We're still seeing some decent rain in the valley. Snow once again between 4,000 and 4,500 feet. This is when we start seeing chain requirements, by the way, especially east of I-5. And then we go into Thursday morning, right? Now we're seeing things kind of tapering off. Still some snow off to the east. Chain requirements are a very good possibility for many of the mountain passes east of I-5 as we go into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. But what's happening is the atmospheric river at this point is now gone, but there's still a lot of leftover moisture, and we got some cold and unstable air that's going to tap into that. So by noon on Thursday, thunderstorms for the north coast, eventually making their way into the valley for Thursday afternoon. And with these thunderstorms, we could be looking at the potential for strong thunderstorms. What that means is periods of heavy rainfall, gusty winds, lightning, the potential for hail. And on top of that, snow levels on Thursday, I think, could drop down to as low as 3,500 feet and locally lower. So Mount Shasta City, maybe Bernie, maybe around Shingletown, but probably closer to the Viola area, not to mention Chester. Still rain for Hayfork and Weaverville on Thursday. And again, those gusty winds, lightning, and hail. Even as we go into Thursday night, we're certainly seeing that potential. Snow levels once again between 3,000 and 3,500 feet. That is for your Thursday night. So how much rain can we expect through Thursday night? Well, I'm expecting, give or take, 2 inches in the valley. Some a bit more, some a little bit less. Now, we also expect to see more for the coast. Now, when you combine the heavy rainfall that we're seeing in the mountains, and not to mention on the foothills and the valley, maybe some rain on top of snow, especially on Wednesday, we're talking about an excessive amount of runoff. That's going to make its way down into the lower elevations, and we start to see creeks and streams and rivers start to swell up and eventually maybe even overflow and have some localized flooding. On top of that, low-lying areas that we typically see flooding during these types of events, you know where you are. Those are going to be the typical areas that see the flooding. So we need to make sure the storm drains are clear. You need to make sure that your gutters are clear, because we could be looking at the potential for some problems there with that flooding here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what to expect. So I've been talking about the flooding, so check mark right there. We're talking about the potential for flooding, and it's not just low-lying areas and flooding of creeks and streams and rivers, but with the excessive rain over the mountains, we could be looking at the potential for some mudslides and debris flows over some of those mountain highways. So that's something we need to look into. Also, of course, we still have the areas in yellow where we have the best potential for flooding, areas in green, a slimmer chance, and then we don't have the very big potential for flooding in the areas that are not shaded in any color. All right, so another thing we need to take a look at is the snow levels. As I was walking you through Futurecast, I was mentioning that they're going to start off around 6,000 feet and higher, but eventually by, say, Thursday into Friday, we could be somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. That is going to create some problems for chain requirements on mountain highways. So if you're traveling in the mountains, especially on Thursday and Friday, be prepared for the fact that you could run into some chain requirements, especially east of I-5. North on I-5, I think the chances are going to be slimmer. The snow levels may be just high enough that we may not have a whole lot of problems on I-5, but you need to keep a close eye on it. So that's something we need to look into. So let's take a look at how much snow we can expect as we take you into the long range here, or actually the short range. This is through Thursday night. So it is picking up on the potential for some snow around Mount Shasta City, not to mention Bernie and Ayden. But there, look at Chester, 4,500 feet. Could see anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow there, and picking up a little bit on Quincy as well, but of course still in the form of rain for Weaverville and Hayfork. And just for fun, we take a look at the ski park. There's the ski park right here. It's picking up on a lot of snow. So with the base of the ski park at 5,500 feet, we're going to be borderline probably looking at rain to start off on Wednesday, but by Wednesday night, Thursday and Friday, any precipitation we see at that point will most likely be in the form of snow, and it will most likely even be heavy at times as well. Let's now talk about the winds. We talked about flooding, we talked about snow. Now the gusty winds are something we got to watch for, because that could also lead to not only dangerous driving conditions, but the potential for power outages as well. So let's take a look at the forecast wind gusts. Here is through 6 a.m. Wednesday. Notice where the strongest winds are. North and east of the valley, but even some mountains, mountain exposed ridges here. Off over the eastern mountains could see some gusty winds, but 6 a.m. we're talking 30, 40, 50 miles per hour for some of those coastal regions, not to mention the mountains. By noon, I think it's going to be widespread gusty winds. 20, 30, 40, 50, even 60 mile an hour winds. Obviously, the stronger winds will be over those mountain ridges and some of the higher elevations. Look at Mount Shasta, 44 mile an hour gusts there. But for the valley, upwards of 30 to even 40 mile an hour gusts through the day on Wednesday. Now, notice as we go into Wednesday evening, now it's valley eastward with the strongest winds. Winds starting to die down to the west of the valley. Then by Thursday, this is late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, still pretty gusty in the valley, but eventually by Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, we start to see those winds begin to die down. Still a little breezy in some spots here, but the main wind event should be gone by the time we get into your Thursday. So that certainly is some good news. All right, let's take a look at the long range. So we've got the heaviest rainfall with the atmospheric river on Wednesday. Thursday, the potential for thunderstorms and snow levels 3,000 feet or so. Friday, I think we'll see about the same. More thunderstorms in the valley and snow levels around 3,000 feet, give or take. Then we go into Saturday. I think we'll see a bit of a break. Another storm system coming in on Sunday. This could bring us another round of heavy rainfall. Snow levels around 3,000 feet could create some more travel delays on Sunday. Then as we go into Monday, Tuesday, we're starting to see less in the way of moisture, and we don't have as much rain and snow developing at that point. So it looks like things will start to kind of settle down a bit as we start off the beginning of next week. So of course, still kind of a ways out before that happens, but we certainly do have some heavy rainfall coming in tomorrow, and then another round, another punch, if you will, by the time we get into Sunday. So there's the above normal rainfall we expect in the extended range, still below normal temperatures. That's what's going to keep those snow levels fairly low. Let's take a look at those wave heights, and we're going to take you into your Wednesday afternoon, upwards of 16, 17, even 18 or 20 feet, especially as you start heading out to sea, and even over that. Then we go into Thursday, we may see them drop a little bit, but still fairly high. In fact, we look at the marine forecast with those south winds at about 20 to 30 knots, your waves from the south at 14 feet at 10 seconds, and there is a gale warning that has been issued here for your Wednesday and most likely even into your Thursday. Here's what it looks like as we take a look at our forecast for tonight. Temperature-wise, we're looking at low 50s in the valley. Temperatures in the mountains will mainly be above freezing because it's going to be overcast. And of course, we're looking at those showers developing tonight and into tomorrow morning. So let's take a look at your neighborhood forecast for your Wednesday. Of course, we've got the showers and of course the snow levels around eventually dropping down to about 4,000 feet. Temperatures upper 40s to low 50s in Trinity County. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, off and on rain for the next 7 days is essentially what we're looking at, with the heaviest on Wednesday and then again on Sunday. Here's your North Coast neighborhood forecast up to the north. Smith River 60, 58 degrees for Gas Key, and Hoopa, a high of about 55 degrees. Let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the 40s, even some low 50s in there. Snow levels eventually down to 4,500 feet late in the day Wednesday. Thursday, 4,000, 3,000 feet Friday. 3,000 to 3,500 feet for Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday of next week. But keep in mind, Monday, Tuesday of next week really won't be much in the way of precipitation. There's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the low 50s for those daytime highs. We take you into the eastern mountains where we got 49 in Viola, 53 degrees in Shingletown. There's about 52 degrees for Fall River Mills, Kronberg 51, Janesville 55, as well as Susanville. All right, let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast, sponsored by Haas Farms. Temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60. I mean, even though we're seeing that rain coming in, it's a fairly mild air, especially to start off the day. Then we got thunderstorms in the forecast for Thursday and even quite possibly into your Friday. A bit of a break, I think, on Saturday with more rain coming in by the second half of the weekend and early next week. 55 for a high in Shasta Lake. There you can see 51 for Whiskey Town. Lakehead a high of 53 and Cottonwood topping out at about 57 degrees. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. And of course, we do have that rain, heavy at times, windy conditions on Wednesday. Showers, thunderstorms for Thursday and Friday. And some of those thunderstorms could be fairly strong, giving us brief periods of heavy rainfall, hail, gusty winds, and not to mention lightning. Temperatures dropping as well. I think we'll see a break on Saturday with more rain coming into Sunday, but maybe tapering off a bit, but still a chance for showers next Monday and Tuesday.